Are you single in your 30s, 40s, and just fed up with dating? You sick of swiping, going on dead-end dates, wasting time and energy? How many times have you gotten dressed up, sprayed on your favorite cologne or perfume, and ended up across from someone you knew within 10 minutes was going to be a total waste of time? Look, you're not the only one. If you're dating in today's modern world, this has probably happened to you. Modern dating is unfortunately confusing, it's messy, the apps are challenging, people are inconsistent. One minute they want a relationship, the next minute they're not sure what they're looking for. And if you're somebody who's out there dating with purpose, meaning you actually want a real connection, it can feel like you're fighting through a sea of confused people just to try and make a genuine connection. But look, here's the truth. You might be making it way more harder than it needs to be. There are a few small shifts you can make, two big ones specifically, that'll save you time, energy, and a lot of emotional frustration. So let me be clear. If you're out here just fucking around, casually hooking up, this isn't the video for you. But if you're serious about dating with intention and finding someone who actually fits into your life, stick around to the end. These are for you. So what's the problem with modern dating? Here's the truth. Most people in the dating pool have no clue what they want. And unfortunately, there are many people who don't know what they're doing with the dating process. They're kind of like a bumper car. They're just bumping around from person to person with no real purpose or direction. And they say they want a relationship, but they haven't done the work, they're inconsistent, or they're emotionally unavailable. One week they're all in, next week they're gone. You go on 3 great dates and then nothing. Or worse, they just pop back into your life like nothing happened. So if you're dating in your 30s and 40s, it gets more complicated. People come with history. We've lived some lives. Maybe they're just out of a long-term relationship or a marriage. Maybe they're still healing. Maybe they don't know what they need. Maybe they don't even know that they need to heal. Or maybe they're dating out of boredom, loneliness, or pressure. Either way, they're not showing up with clarity, and others are stuck trying to deal with the confusion that gets left behind from these people. And I know, that gets frustrating, especially when you're dating with purpose. But here's what most people never consider. You can't change the dating pool or control it. You can only control how you show up and how you filter it. And that's what this video is really all about. How to filter better, faster, and with way less emotional energy. Because if you don't have a system, you'll keep wasting time with people who were really never ready to begin with. So you want to get clear about what you want and stop wasting time, right? Cool. Then stop dating people you're attracted to but not aligned with. It starts with clarity, real clarity. Not the, hey, I want someone who's nice and funny, attractive, kind of vague checklist. You need to sit down and ask yourself, what do I need? What do I want? And what do I actually desire from a partner? And once you know, you create a top 5 non-negotiables. Not a top 20, not a vision board of your dream spouse, just 5 things that must be there, and at least 4 out of 5 need to show up early for you to move on. You need to get into the intangibles, things that you can't touch, like emotional availability, humility, sense of humor, shared lifestyle, how they show up for conflict. These things last. Because without clarity, you'll go on a bunch of decent dates that never go anywhere. And you'll start questioning yourself instead of realizing they just didn't fit your actual needs. So clarity gives you a filter. And once you have it, you don't bend on it just because they're hot or the conversation was good. You stick to your list or you'll keep repeating that same cycle. And ask yourself, how long do you really want to stay in the dating pool? So the next thing we need to do is screen like a pro. If you're still going on first dates with people you've only texted with, I need you to stop. Seriously, guys, text is not real communication. You cannot hear tone, you cannot read energy, people can fake their whole personality over messages. But phone or FaceTime, that's where you get to know someone that would otherwise take you days to learn via text. Before you agree to meet someone, get them on a quick call, 10 minutes, that's all. If you connect with someone who can't spend 10 minutes on the phone with you, guess what? They don't have time to date you. Move on. You'll hear their voice, their vibe, their sense of presence. You'll pick up on whether they're awkward, cocky, dry, or just off. And this is stuff you'd otherwise have to sit through in person. And while you're on that call, ask real questions, not robotic, rapid fire stuff. Keep it casual, but be intentional. Instead of boring stuff like, what are you looking for? Ask something like, what's a perfect outcome for you from this app? If their answer is, I'm chill, I go with the flow, I'm open to all kinds of connections, No. That's someone without clarity that doesn't align with what you want. Next. Here's the best part. Guys, this saves you money, okay? Stop buying drinks for people who shouldn't even get your attention. Stop going out on 3 or 4 dates to learn this is a train wreck. Screen better, date better. Show up with intent. If you've screened someone and you've had a good call and there's a vibe, now it's time to make a move. Set the damn date. If you're a straight guy, listen. This is where you need to show up with intent and in your masculine energy. That means leading, making decisions, taking action. It doesn't mean controlling or dominating. It means creating a space where a woman can feel safe, seen, and relaxed. And when you lead with real intent, it lets her drop into her feminine energy where she can feel like herself. Not like she's got to be on edge or running the show or she's unsure of what you're doing. You just pick a day, you pick a time, you make a reservation, show her that you can handle logistics like a grown man. That simple thing sets you apart. And ladies, if you're the one doing all the work to get a date, that's a red flag. Ask yourself, do I want to lead every step of this relationship? If your answer is yes, keep going. If it's no, stop and walk away right then and there. Don't give another chance. Once the date is set, make it intentional. No sports bars, concerts, or crowded spots where you're having to yell just to hear somebody. Choose a place where you can actually sit across from each other, talk, and to look in each other's eyes and catch a vibe. The most common thing women say that makes her fall for a man is how she feels around him. That statement is telling. It means that women prioritize how they feel around you versus what you're driving up in, right? So a Lambo will never hurt, but if you get out all awkward, lost, and confused without the masculine intention that makes her feel connected, like you have purpose, her interest is dropping by the minute. Okay, and remember, if it's flowing, be open to a second spot. That shift in energy, it helps build connection fast. So be deliberate. Dating doesn't need to be complicated. It just needs to be intentional. Next, you need to date like a grown-up. Let's talk about how to be on a first date. It's unfortunate that I have to mention this, but there are many people who are still struggling with this. And I have been on dates with people who get plastered and share their drama. I have learned the hard way. Trust me. If you've done the work, you filtered right, you set up with intention, now it's about how you show up. First rule, be present. Put your phone away. Be curious. Ask real questions. This isn't about impressing anyone, it's about connection. And part of that means being honest about where you're at in life. If you've got kids, a messy custody schedule, an ex you co-parent with, don't hide it. You don't need to drop it in the first 5 minutes, but it does need to come up early enough so that the other person can make a real decision and they can move on if they need to. Because if they're out once they know the truth, it's better they find out now than 4 dates in. Also, stop going on 3 or 4 dates with people you're not even that into. Just because someone is nice doesn't mean they're your person. Just because someone gives you attention, it doesn't mean they're your person. If they're not aligned to your top 5 non-negotiables, cut it off respectfully and move on. Dating as an adult means you're honest, clear, and not afraid to be seen. But it's not just about finding the right person. It's about being ready when that person shows up. So next, we need to spot misalignment early. Let's be honest. Most people walk into dates not sure when to share their fears. Some hide it really well. Others are easy to spot. Misalignment will show up fast if you know what to look for. So pay attention to key things. Are they on time? If they're late, do they acknowledge it, or is it something you're going to have to always deal with? Are they considerate of your time as well as theirs? How do they talk about their ex? Do they take ownership, or is it blame and drama? What is the theme as to why their past relationships have ended? Do they take ownership? How do they talk about their friends? Do they have friends? What happens when the conversation gets real? Do they lean in? Do they open up? Do they shut down? Are they aloof? Watch their energy, not just their words. How do they show up? Are they present? Are they curious? Are they grounded? Or are they distracted, vague, non-specific, low energy, low effort? And don't ignore your body. Your gut knows. If you feel tense, guarded, or like you're performing, that's not your person. A good connection feels easy, not exhausting. Also, don't rationalize weird vibes just because the convo was fun or they're hot. You're not here to collect compliments or get more followers. You're here to see if they align with what you actually want. That's very, very important. Every date is data. Pay attention to how you feel during and after. That's more honest than anything they could ever say. So ask yourself, are you excited to see this person again? Do you want to get home and text them? Do you want to get home and talk to them on the phone? Are you left wanting to know more from them? Do you want to make sure that they make it home safely? Or are you glad to be home? Do you wish you would have stayed home? All these things are data points. If it's not adding up early, it won't add up later. Move on accordingly. Don't waste your time. And if that's the case, be accountable and transparent. Just say something simple like, hey, thanks for meeting me last night, but this isn't the compatibility I'm looking for. It doesn't need to be drawn out drama. You've been on 1 or 2 dates with this person. We're spotting things early and we're moving on, right? And by doing that, you clear your life and your schedule so that the universe brings you what you want. This is how you avoid situationships and things that do not meet your needs. So let's talk about something that most people overlook, and that's dating burnout. If you're consistently swiping, texting, planning dates, following up, and filtering through people who don't align, it's emotionally draining. It chips away at your patience, your clarity, and your optimism. And before you know it, you're walking into dates already irritated, already over it, already assuming it'll be another waste of time. And guess what? That energy, people feel it. That's why I recommend this. For every 2 months of active dating, take 1 full month off. That means for everyone who has been on a dating app for 6 months, you need to take a break, dude. No apps, no dates, no checking in, no combos, just real time to reset, reflect, and reconnect with yourself. Use that month to ask yourself, am I honoring my standards? Am I filtering intentionally? Or am I just swiping out of habit? Am I still clear on what I want? Or am I just tired? Because burnout makes you miss good options. And burnout will make you settle. And burnout makes you show up closed off when you need to be open. You can't date with purpose and intent if you're running on fumes. So take a break. It's not weakness, it's freaking strategy. So to sum this up, in closing, let's bring this all together. Modern dating is challenging, but it's not impossible. It's noisy and confusing. If you don't know how to filter, you'll drown in distractions. But if you're clear on what you need, want, and desire, and if you ask the right questions early and lead with purpose, you will stop wasting time. You stop showing up drained, you stop lowering your standards, and you stop confusing attention for connection and compatibility. And more importantly, you start having better dates. Not perfect ones, but better dates. And these dates will align more with how you feel. Ones that feel easy, ones where you're showing up as your best self, not your jaded, tired, burnt out version. So here's the play. Step 1, get clear on your top 5 non-negotiables. Step 2, ask better questions, not surface level chit chat. Step 3, use FaceTime to filter or have phone calls. Step 4, show up with purpose and intent. And step 5, take breaks when needed. Find hobbies, dive into your friends and your passion. And step 6, most importantly, walk away when it's not a fit and don't look back. That's how you improve modern dating, not with games, but with grown-up energy, honesty, and real alignment to what you actually need. So, guys, all in there. If this helped you out, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment. Tell me how you have done things to improve your dating life. And let's make dating a little less of a headache and way more intentional. And my reason for posting content has always been mission-driven. It's to help people heal, grow, and live a life they love. So if something hit, share it with someone else. If everyone shares this with one person, we can double the mission and spread the word. And as always, remember, life is better when we stop pretending and we start talking. Catch you next time.